Good morning, sup players. Look, the face before the chaos begins. It all starts with a smile. Hi. What's up? I hope you guys weren't living in too much terror over the weekend. I heard there was some sort of uprising. I don't really pay much attention to the news, which sort of keeps me sane. But who knows? Who cares, right? This is usually a slow week. It'll probably be a slow week anyway. When you've rallied into June, the last 2 weeks of June, notoriously, or if you just read the almanac, is normally a slow 2 weeks, and then we build towards earnings season, and then we are in the heart of earnings season. Sometimes earnings season in the summer is kind of boring. I don't think it's going to be boring this time. And if you're still just looking for action in the morning, so far you got Femi, FEMY is the one in play. There's always two or three of these. You got Lucid, L Cid. They got some news with some other car company. I'm not exactly, I don't remember what I saw that went by, but as long as it's in play, if there's volume and its stock is moving, that's what makes it in play, and that's what gives you an opportunity to make some money. But normally, I'm not even here these 2 weeks. This is usually vacation time for my family. We've pushed it to the middle of July. So here's the important dates going forward. This week's kind of like chill. A lot of what we did last week, we're going to do this week. One and done is fine. Friday turned out to be an extravaganza of opportunity. I was kind of caught off guard. Basically, if you shorted every stock that I owned, you would have had your best month ever. That's not even a joke. Every stock I own absolutely just gave it up on Friday. And if you traded options on Carvana and Palantir and NNOX and ENVX, you really, really did well, which was, again, an indictment on how difficult it is. I don't know if it's difficult for anybody else. I'm hoping everybody does fantastic. I cannot own a stock to save my life. I can't do swing trades. I can't do anything. So if I own a stock, it doesn't matter the extended period of time. Inevitably, it'll turn into a loss. See, that's the difference between me and my dad. Inevitably, everything turns into a win for my father. Inevitably, everything turns into a loss for me. I don't know. Hopefully, that skips a generation to my son, but I don't think he's going to be an investor because I'm showing him that days like Friday, you can just do well enough where you don't have to care about investing. You really don't. And the only thing that's really worked for me this year is selling puts on the Qs and selling puts on SOXL. And it's when you win on those trades, it's really so insignificant that it's pointless doing it. So I'm sticking to, I'm just gonna wait for earnings season. I'm not playing these $2 stocks. I don't do well on those either. So, more or less, this is probably going to be a nice, easy week for me of doing absolutely the bare minimum. And then I'm just, I got some physical therapy with my mother-in-law at 11, and I probably won't come back for the rest of the day. Normally, I just go to the beach, but I don't really feel like driving out there. Plus, I'm still 20 days into the, what's up? Hey, how are you? Into the chicken pox. So, but, if you don't realize how awesome Friday was, I got a really important date I want to share with you guys. July 8th, 12 o'clock. It's a Saturday. I'm going to be doing some hardcore training for people. And I'm just going to leave the door open. So if anybody wants to sneak in the back door and hang out for 2 hours, there will be Danish and there'll be black coffee. And that's all I'm going to serve. And we're going to just crunch what happened on Friday. I'm going to show you, long-term, short-term charts using the VWAP. Obviously, short-term is my favorite, but why Friday was such an easy day was the long-term VWAP breaks. You had stocks that were breaking down under weeklies. You had stocks that were breaking monthly VWAPs, and there was no reason to be in them unless you want to be an investor. And you see how I mean, you could see the emotional turmoil. And these aren't even big positions. Imagine I had real big positions on, I'd be a freaking mess. I really, really dislike owning stocks because it serves me no purpose but heartache, frustration, and distraction. Nothing's more distracting than, you're at one point you kind of want to see Carvana bounce because you own it, but meanwhile you're pounding it on the short side, and it kind of like is almost you're hurting yourself in a way. But that's why when you short something you own, you might as well go 10 times the amount that you own to make it count. And that's what Friday was all about. I don't have meaningful positions in Carvana. I've got a couple of grand at work on some leaps. I should have been destroying that thing with hundreds of puts. And again, it was a big woulda, coulda, shoulda day on Friday. We did all right because we shorted the cues out of the gate. We had the cues nailed the cues. We were long the cues, short the cues, short the cues, long the cues. We were right on point with the cues on Friday. That's what made it special. But if you just added one more thing, you had probably the best day of your life. So here's some dates for you. This week, just take off, just relax, come by, learn a little bit, get into the groove. Then we got July 3rd. You know what's happening July 3rd? Exactly. Nothing. Nobody should be here on July 3rd. It's that weird in between day. Sometimes something happens, most of the time nothing happens. So Monday, July 3rd is going to be one of those days where it could be like Christmas Eve that year back in 2018 where we crashed, but I wouldn't, no way to predict that. So I'm not going to say it. It'll be fun. I'll be here. Well, then again, I don't know if I'm going to be here. I have to ask my wife. Right. That's right. I have no have no scheduling power anymore whatsoever. But then the 4th we're off, and then the 8th. So come around the 8th, and then you have really some major key dates. July 14th is a huge day. July 14th kicks us off. Then that following Monday, then the 18th through the 28th, then August 1st. Those are amazingly important dates going forward. Okay, so if you want to know more about why those dates are important, start stopping in. It is, yeah, it's nice and quiet out here. I like a quiet day. I like a quiet week. I like when there's nothing to do because I don't feel like when I get up and do something else and I'm missing out on something. But right now, yeah, nothing's changed since last week. Still planning to exit all of these positions, how meaningless they are, and how, again, to me, they're just a distraction. I'd rather not own stocks, especially going into earnings season, going into vacation, going into the end of the year. And again, I am hoping that the bears are right. I am hoping all the predictions are right. I hope the market crashes. I really, really do. I don't think it's going to, but I hope the bears are right. I'm rooting for you guys. I'm rooting for all your recession. I'm rooting for the crash. I'm rooting for the recession. I'm rooting for volatility and fear to come back to this market in a big way because those are the days I do best. And I also enjoy trading. And if the market's just grinding higher into the end of the year, it's not going to be much to do. I don't think that's going to happen either. September and October are usually volatile. But, when you live day to day, it's really just about, Femi and Lucid right now. And whatever comes along today, I'm sure we'll be trading the same 7 or 8 stocks that we traded last week. We haven't gone a day without trading Palantir or Carvana or the Qs. And probably be the same exact day as every other day today, you know? And then, like I said, as soon as I get done selling whatever I have left, I'll let you guys know. Because it'll be a Josh Brown bottom moment for me. Of course it will be. No matter when I sell. No matter where I sell. I mean, this is going to be funny because you're going to witness how awful I really am. Because I own like have 7 or 8 positions on, right? As soon as I'm done selling, if I have zero interest in them whatsoever, not short, not long, nothing, and I finally take whatever's off the books, usually a loss, you'll see a 20-30% move in the stock to the upside. It'll be a miracle. And you're going to say, how the hell did that happen? I'm going to say, it's me. And then I'm going to do it again 18 months from now when I say I'm not going to own stocks again. I own 3 or 4 stocks and I sell those for losses and then they go up after I sell them. It's going to be fantastic. And again, more importantly is what these earnings reports are going to do on July 14th. That's really what we should be concerned about. All right. I'll see you guys at 9:30. If you haven't noticed, what's up, my man? If you haven't noticed, the sound quality in the video starts to get worse about an hour and a half into the show. YouTube doesn't want long format shows. YouTube doesn't want to. Again, I'm starting to get back into the algorithm of YouTube. I still don't have time to make cool thumbnails. Every thumbnail, there's this one guy. Every thumbnail is him just this. The world's coming to an end, and the title is "Market Crash." I it's just I don't know. I don't have time to make a thumbnail. I just throw the camera on and go. All right, I'll see you guys at 9:30. Nice. I trap retailers. Cool. So Qs are flat already. All right. While we're sitting here, the market's made a nice little comeback. So usually summer bummer. I'm going to go ahead and say we just do nothing. But there'll be enough motion to make a day's pay, I'm sure. And again, that's the goal. They make cars. I love them. I'll see you guys at around 9:30. Later.